Don't miss country music star Gary Allen live at Emerald Queen Casino October 9th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, before you drive, put your phone out of reach and stay focused on the road. And by Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card, earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Glorious Sunday inside T-Mobile Park. Here's what it looks like in the American League West. The Rangers have won 4 straight. They're 59 and 58, back above 500, a half game behind the Astros. Meanwhile, the Mariners 56 and 62, 4 back of first place, trying to get the ship turned around and turned around in a hurry. We know this with the Mariners. It all starts with starting pitching. So with that in mind, today's Western Washington Toyota Dealers pitching matchup. Lefty Ian Seymour will be going for the Rays. Meanwhile, more conventional starter on the Mariners side. It is Emerson Hancock, who the last time he saw the Rays, it wasn't for very long. It was right before the All-Star break. This was the first pitch of the game. It hit his bare hand, and he had to get pulled in the second.
Yeah, last game of the first half for Emerson Hancock, coming off a really nice career breakthrough type first half. But man, you can see the kind of the smile. He's like, I'm okay. But of course, that's just the adrenaline. He had to come out a little bit later in the game. So this will be the second time he's facing the Rays, but really the first time them getting a look. The big key for Emerson Hancock, though, he's got to get deeper into this game. The bullpen was used up a little bit last night. That big 6th inning where the Rays were able to break through. Not to mention Gabe Spire is down today. Yes, they do have the off day tomorrow, but he has to get a little deeper into this game. And I think with that, the sweeper and the curveball, 2 of the break pitches, got to find some consistency with them against this Rays lineup.
All right, so Emerson Hancock up on the mound today in the Steelhead Sunday uniforms for the Mariners. Last night, top 50 players all-time honored, including Jamie Moyer, the ultimate crafty lefty. 11 seasons in Seattle, an 03 All-Star, finished top 10 of the Cy Young vote 3 times with the Mariners, and the winner of the prestigious Roberto Clemente Award. Mariners Hall of Famer Jamie Moyer.
Nice truck.
This portion of the game is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. Roof wide open, glorious blue skies overhead, sunshine pouring into T-Mobile Park. And the Mariners trying to salvage a series against the winningest team in the American League at 70 and 46, the Tampa Bay Rays. Here's what it looks like for the Rays today. A little bit different. Yandy Diaz leading things off, and then Jonathan Aranda. Chandler Simpson up in the order today. Trying to get some more men on base, some more traffic for the slug in the lineup. And then is Junior Caminero with 33 home runs, an all-star this year for the second time. Liam Hicks coming over at the deadline from Miami to Tampa Bay. And that was Victor Mesa Jr. last night. Man, was he a tough out. A home run in the 4th inning of last night's game. Some good at-bats for Mesa. Emerson Hancock is up on the mound. He's been pitching very well as of late. A quality start his last time out.
Yeah, against the Detroit Tigers, a very tough offense, that's for sure. Had to lean heavily on that 4-seam fastball. We've seen that at times where he just kind of loses that feel for the sweeper and has to revert either to the curveball or a lot of those cutters. But if he can find that sweeper, get some of the swing and miss. We saw Junior Caminero last night go chasing, but some of these big righty bats try and get a little bit of that chase down and away with that sweeper.
Here's what it looks like defensively for the Mariners today. Weston Wilson is getting the nod over at third base as they are giving Brendan Donovan a day to ease back from being on the injured list for so long. Donovan beginning the game on the bench. This is something that we've already seen happen this year. All going to plan for the Mariners, trying to get Donovan back in full form. So Emerson Hancock has the ball today. It's been a tough homestand for the Mariners by and large. Trying to salvage things here today with a win before a day off tomorrow. And the first pitch, fortunately, doesn't come right back and hit Emerson Hancock's bare hand. It's fouled straight back this time, and there is strike 1.
Going back to that game, too, it's the last game of the first half, and the Mariners had dropped the first 2. Looking for some spark, looking for some good pitching. He got hit. The bullpen had to carry the load. There's that sweeper.
0-2 fast on Yandy Diaz. Diaz batting close to 300 on the year with some pop. way outside. Well, this is a long homestand for the Mariners, and they were really hoping to build up a little line of credit before hitting the road for what will be a long and very treacherous road trip. Homestand began well by and large for the Mariners. They took 2 out of 3 from the Twins. This ball is sliced into right field and a base hit with 2 strikes for Yandy Diaz. Leadoff man aboard.
I pitch middle of the plate. You can see Cal showing that glove, that elevated 4-seam, and that second, that swing and miss. Excuse me, Emerson Hancock. Yandy just spraying that ball into right field.
95 right over the plate, and Diaz makes him pay for it. Here is Jonathan Aranda, number 2 hitting first baseman for the Rays. He swings and misses at a pitch on the corner. Well, the Mariners had a couple of walk-off wins to cap off that Minnesota Twins series, and you're really feeling pretty good about things at that point. You get 2 really fun wins against a team that were buyers at the deadline. The Twins were this kind of resurgent team all of a sudden. A little water balloon that drops in for a base hit, and 2 singles begins the day for the Rays and brings up Chandler Simpson. But then the Tigers come to town, Hyphen, and although the Mariners won the middle game of that series, man, the offense just did not show up. They were shut out twice, and in those 2 losses to the Tigers, they lost by a combined score of 19-0. And now not much offense in these first 2 games against the Rays. So man, it really feels like you want to end this, what has been a very emotional and celebratory homestand. You'd love to end it on a high note with a win here today.
Yeah, you said something earlier too, building up some credit before you head out on the road. You want to get on that plane not coming off a sweep, put it that way. Some kind of energy, momentum. You saw, see Chandler Simpson just shoved in that third hole, breaking up Aranda Caminero. But yeah, even last night too, like some of the little things, right? It dropped the game. Dan Wilson talked about this last night. He said it's coming in regards to, you know, these players getting hot, having that run. But you got a situation where Josh Naylor all of a sudden finds something. He's that big presence in that clubhouse. Hopefully get some of that momentum into today. But just heading off onto the East Coast, feeling good about where you're at, just with that 1 win to finish this series would be huge.
Well, Simpson trying to bunt. He's got runners at first and second with nobody out, and a big bat on deck in Junior Caminero. Naylor almost standing side by side to Emerson Hancock, crashing again. If you knew a guy was going to bunt, were you more apt to throw him something other than a fastball?
You want to throw, well, yeah, you have to first of all identify what is that pitch that he cannot get the barrel on top of the ball. So if he pops it up, or something he's actually going to commit to, right? So if you throw a breaking ball, he's probably just going to pull the barrel back. Like that. That 4-seam at the top of the strike zone, it's tough to get that top hand, that left hand from Chandler Simpson on top of the ball to get to the grass. Because remember too, if you talk about trying to pitch away from, you know, the contact of the bunt, they're just going to pull the barrel back. The guys who can do it well. You can see him just trying to get that ball to the grass.
No team in baseball has more sac bunts than the Rays. No team in baseball has more bunt base hits than the Rays. And only the Brewers have more infield base hits than the Rays. They got some big bats up top, but a lot of small ball after that. Ground ball, and it ticks off Emerson's glove. And now the bases are loaded. Fortunately, Colt Emerson was able to get to it before it kind of trickled and died into short left field. So the bases are loaded for Junior Caminero.
Again, that little 2-strike. We've seen Chandler Simpson do plenty of this since he got to the big leagues. And Emerson Hancock being aggressive. Remember, this is what hurt his finger in Tampa. But that's the right play right there, because if that ball gets past Emerson, chances are, with Chandler Simpson's speed, he's going to be a tough out at first.
So in a tough spot here, Caminero batting with the bases loaded and nobody out.
And the key now, you saw Emerson's reaction when that ball bounced off his glove. He's looking over towards first base. The key is now, if you can stay present with making these pitches, man, tough at bat. And you have to have every little bit of focus you have on the guy at the plate.
1-1 on Caminero. Caminero, one of the great power hitters in the game, 33 home runs. Well, the Rays have been excellent in so many ways this year, and situational hitting near the very top. A very awkward looking swing and a miss. It was like you pressed the rewind button halfway through that swing. It's 1-2.
And this is where that sweep, we saw him chase that breaking ball last night. That sweeper from Emerson Hancock, down and away. Man, if you can get nothing in play right here against Junior Caminero, the swing and miss. Ooh. It's a dangerous spot. And that home run rate has slowed down a little bit. You gotta be careful right here. Going to 2 strikes. Those fingers on top of this pitch, bury it, down and away.
Swing and a miss, and he climbs the ladder on Caminero for the first out of the ball game. 97 upstairs.
And you got to take. We talk about some momentum, energy. You got to take that into this next at bat. Man, maybe the biggest strikeout as this game goes along. Who knows what's going to happen, obviously, but a huge strikeout against Junior Caminero. Way behind that fastball, by the way.
Now, Liam Hicks is a ground ball hitter. He pulls this down the line and foul, plenty of distance, but a foul ball. Hancock would love something hit on the ground right to somebody. Nothing in 1 to Hicks, who does have damage, 15 home runs this year. Very disciplined hitter. Like that, just taking down and away. More walks than strikeouts this year for Liam Hicks, former Miami Marlin, acquired at the deadline. 1 out, bases loaded, top of the first. Runners all around for the Rays. Has 2 strikes on him now.
Yeah, trying to get a heater up again. Now, that was a sinker, but you can see where Cal was set up and away. Liam Hicks can get to that pitch. There's not a whole lot of swing and miss, a high rate of that fastball up. So you got to be careful. Make plus contact, elevated pitches.
No place to put Hicks. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Victor Mesa Jr. on deck, a home run last night. Still 3-2. Well, so much for kind of easing into the game.
Right. Yeah, and this is where you throw your pitch count, excuse me, out the window. That feel, establishing pitch. Now you just seriously empty the tank here in the first inning. These are going to be the biggest pitches he's going to throw all day.
3-2. In on the hands, popped him up. Wilson tracking this into foul ground, and he makes the catch. A huge second out.
You got bases juice, none out. You got Junior Caminero. You get a punch out from him, and then Liam Hicks, who's been so good this year and makes that plus contact we talked about, able to get him just to hit that weak little pop-up over to Weston Wilson.
Hancock a chance to get out of this inning completely unscathed, but needs 1 more out. Victor Mesa Jr. the batter. Strike 1. Challenged him right over the plate at 98.
Yeah, it's a dangerous pitch, but with Mesa, he's so aggressive. You know he's going to be in swing mode. He's not a guy that you like, okay, I need to try and get to 2 strikes as quick as I can. Get him to chase something. He'll be trying to do damage in pitch number 1.
He calls for time. Two outs, bases loaded. Drops a bunt foul. And he just gave Hancock a strike, 0-2. Emerson Hancock needed one more strike to leave him loaded. Oh-2. Back foot breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. After loading the bases, a strikeout to Junior Caminero. Hicks popping up foul. 2 outs, runners all around. Now the 1-2. He struck him out. Emerson Hancock, a tip of the cap. And many on their feet. A triple shot of espresso kind of first inning on a Sunday morning here inside T-Mobile Park.
Casino and Hotel.
Mariners TV is presented by PIMCO. Here's what the lineup looks like today for manager Dan Wilson. Taylor Ward leading things off. Cole Young having a really strong second half. Meanwhile, 8-game hit streak for Julio and Josh Naylor. A couple of home runs and a double in last night's game. Those two batting 5th and 6th in the order. Left-handed Ian Seymour is on the mound. His first pitch missing down and in. Ball 1. Seymour's been a little bit of a swingman this year for Tampa Bay, doing a little bit of it all, both starting and relieving. One ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's had that chance to start. He's also been that bulk guy when they've gone to the bullpen day with the opener. The Mariners roughed him up. Last time they saw him down in Tampa, well, the lefty's doing damage to him.
Borderline pitch there. 2 balls and a strike on Taylor Ward. Acquired at the deadline by the Mariners from the Orioles.
Challenge. No.
Noticeably high. EQC Tracer would back that up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Does not go around. It's a full count. Yeah, that leadoff man challenge is probably, I mean, that was a noticeable miss, to be fair about it, but you got to have some pretty strong conviction, I would imagine, to
100% certain.
Be the first batter and use a challenge. So you can understand that. Ward socks this deep out to center field. Taylor Ward off the wall. He is making the turn, headed for third, and Taylor Ward slides in with a triple.
We'd love to see a leadoff home run, but maybe even better, a little leadoff triple. Get some traffic behind Ian Seymour as he's trying to get settled in. Look at this fastball down the middle after that really tough changeup. Taylor Ward going back to his Angels days, just missed it below the yellow line. And right here, the minute you see it scoot past Cedric Mullins, you're thinking 3.
Young blisters this into right field. 2 batters in, and the Mariners are on the board.
Man, what a way to start this Sunday, this last game of this series. You got Emerson Hancock walking the tightrope, able to get some big strikeouts at the top of the first, got the crowd into it. And Taylor Ward bounces one off the wall, triple, and Cole Young. We've been seeing a lot more of this too. Swinging first pitch, swinging early, being way more aggressive. Just enough. See the infield pulled in. Scorch past. Palacios at second base.
Here's a Rosarena, ball 1 his way. And Randy challenging this, thinking it was low.
The batter challenging the strike ball.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
The pitch is the ball. Seattle retains their challenge.
A good challenge by Randy. Flips the count to 2-0. Fastball over the plate, fouled back, 2 balls and a strike. Well, you love the instant offense for the Mariners here today. We were talking about their offensive struggles, especially on this homestand. They've been held to 3 runs combined the first 2 games of this series. Count evens. In fact, if you look at the last 3 games, the Mariners have dropped all 3, and they've been held to 3 runs in total in that stretch of time. They were shut out of the finale against the Tigers. Still 2-2.
See right now, Ian Seymour just nothing to beat Randy Rosarina in this situation. All the foul balls, a lot of big swings. A little change up hanging in the middle of that strike zone right here. Let Randy get those hands extended.
On the ground, left side. On to first in time for the double play. Bases empty, 2 outs. Here comes Dom Canzone. He goes after the first pitch and pops it up. Seymour points to the sky. Hicks. Oh, it falls in. Wow. Everybody was looking. Caminero and Hicks right there along with Ian Seymour all watched it fall to the grass.
Just a lazy fly ball right in front of the mound, and I think if you're Ian Seymour right now, I get it. You're pointing up. We always talk about staying with the ball, but he's looking around. You can see Hicks getting a late jump. No Junior Caminero around to just kind of staying put. Everyone looking, pointing the finger at everyone else. But this is a situation on a play like that. The corners have to take charge, whether it's Aranda or Junior Caminero. Make that hurt.
Wow, a gift. Here is Julio. Julio, an 8-game hit streak. He's homered twice in that stretch, including homering in game 1 of this series. Good changeup, 2-1.
That's that pitch. It's going to be the pitch all afternoon long as you pay attention to Ian Seymour. If you can get him on the ropes, lay off that changeup, and just like we saw against Taylor Ward and Cole Young, get something middle of the plate from the fastball.
Bottom of the zone. 2-2 on Julio. Two outs, Canzone at first base. A swing and a miss. The Mariners can't capitalize on that gift, but they do grab the game's first run. Our old broadcast partner, Dan Wilson, has done just about everything as a Mariner. Standout catcher for 12 years, an All-Star in '96, inducted into the Mariners Hall of Fame in 2012, and became Mariners manager in the summer of 2024. Dan the Man. Mariners lead at 1-0, top of the 2nd inning. Cedric Mullins looks at a first pitch strike right over the plate from Emerson Hancock. A great Houdini act from Hancock in the first inning. 28 pitches. He loaded them up. The first 3 batters all reached. And then he took care of the next 3. Struck out a couple of them. Left them loaded.
That was impressive. It really was. And again, after that little Chandler Simpson Chopper down by off Emerson Hancock's glove that ended up down third base. You could just see the frustration, man. He's looking around, aggravated. And a lot of times, man, you get so anchored on that one pitch, you're not staying present. He's able to make some big pitches in the next couple, and man, getting himself out of that jam.
Well, this has to be part of the maturation of a pitcher, right? Hancock isn't a grizzled veteran, but he's also not a young pitcher anymore. But to be able to stay in the moment and get through batter after batter after loading them up to begin the game, incredibly impressive mentally.
Yeah, it really is. And not to mention, too, identifying what you have in your bag of tricks to get swing and miss. And that's what he didn't have a year ago. I mean, I know last year, at the end of last year, he was in that bullpen. He kind of found that sweeper, but that four seam at the top of the zone, you got Caminero. He didn't have that last year.
Yeah, he blew Caminero's doors off at 97 above the zone.
There's always that little sinker changeup down and away to lefties. That pitch right there, and then you try and come back with, you know, okay, breaking ball, wouldn't get a whole lot of chase on that. That was really it. Had to rely on soft contact.
That's some big misses in that at bat from Hancock, and Mullins is aboard of the Ford Sports Desk. Angie.
Guys, thanks so much. The University of Oregon, I almost said Washington, habits. University of Oregon Ducks taking over the ballpark today. I saw all these Mariners-themed jerseys, and I tracked them back to these sections down the third base line. Fans who bought through this special ticket link are taking home the Mariners-themed University of Oregon jerseys, these green jerseys. Really cool, guys. Other special group events coming up include Bowling Day, that's in August, and Jimi Hendrix Night on September 3rd, and then Naruto Night on September 4th, guys.
Wow, a lot to take in. Is Healy out there? Healy's got to be around someplace, right? He was here for the Derby. So he headed home to Arizona already? Former Oregon Duck Ryan Healy?
I have no idea.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to get one of those jerseys. Here comes a visit out to the mound. I heard bowling night. I was unaware of this. Bowling night is coming up.
You a big bowler, Goldie? I didn't know this.
I would love, after what I
after
what I witnessed you do in the home run derby, I'd love to see you with a 15-pound bowling ball, just chucking that thing left-handed down the lanes.
I can never, you know, the guys who can spin it.
Oh, come on, you
so
can't spin it?
I can't. No, I can't.
This seems like it's right in your wheelhouse.
I know. I can't seem to figure it out, man. I just try and power it down the middle.
Oh, well, that's how you were as a pitcher, just a power guy.
Well, exactly. Yeah, 98 to 100s on the left side. But no, the guys who, you know, you look to your lanes left and right, you see some, like, you know, semi-pros down there, and they're spinning that thing. I'm like, man, how do you do that?
Off-season chore for you, my friend.
Yeah.
Richie Palacios at the plate after a mountain visit to talk things over with Hancock, keeping an eye on Mullins, who walked.
Palacios had that big base hit in the 6th inning last night against Michael Rucker.
He shoots this the opposite way. Rosarena giving ground, and he makes the catch. One out, and Mullins back to first base. Bryce Harper and the Phillies are coming to T-Mobile Park later this month. We have an interleague homestand between the Cubs and the Phillies coming to town. Fighting Phils will be here the 24th through the 26th. Mariners.com/tickets. See, the Blue Jays were barking at the umpires last night in the Phillies Blue Jays game, I should say, as Walls fouls us away because they did not think that Zach Wheeler was engaged with the rubber, didn't have his foot on the rubber. And Wheeler said after the game, in effect, they haven't been winning many ball games this year, the Blue Jays. They're probably looking for something to complain about. So maybe they were both right. Walls lifts this out towards left center field. Julio's there towards the gap. 2 outs. Message now from the Washington beef farmers and ranchers.
Win or lose, it's really about how you feed the game, right? Together, we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
So 2 outs, top of the card now for Yandy Diaz. First time through for Hancock.
No, so I didn't see that with the Phillies and the Blue Jays last night. So you're saying he was what? He was coming set and his foot was.
He was not engaged with the rubber.
Like, in other words, the foot was like a couple inches in front of the rubber.
You know,
or like Robles behind the rubber.
He was, in effect, he was Victor Robles.
By the way, I had so many people texting me saying, "Hey man, are you allowed to pitch from behind? Is that like the starting line?" I said, "No."
The starting line. Slide tackle there. Cole Young, nice play. Leadoff walk is stranded by Hancock. Couple of scoreless innings spun.
Yep, just got back.
Freddie Garcia, the Chief, a dominant starting pitcher for the Mariners over 6 years. He led the league in ERA and innings pitched in 01. He finished third in the Cy Young. He was a two-time All-Star, and in 2003 was one of 5 Mariners starting pitchers to make every start. Josh Naylor takes up and in. That team, that year, the 03 Mariners, that was the last time that a team used all of 5 starting pitchers for 162 games.
Let me try and guess them. Now, I'm not looking at them. You got Moya, Aaron Seeley?
No. Ground ball, 5 center field. Stay hot. Both you and Naylor. 3-hit game last night for Josh.
All right, we'll just keep it at that. Never mind.
All right. I have the benefit of having the list in front of me.
Oh, you did?
I looked it up.
Nice.
All right, so you had Freddie Garcia,
okay,
Ryan Franklin,
okay,
Gil Mesh,
ooh,
and then 2 other guys who were here last night.
Jamie Moyer.
Yep.
Joel Pinheiro.
Yes.
Boom. Okay. That was 03? All right.
03. Now, a couple of things along those lines. The team prior to the 03 Mariners to use just 5 starting pitchers. The 1966 Dodgers.
Wow.
Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax, Don Sutton, Claude Osteen, Joe Moeller. I mean, these are some big-time names.
Yeah, wow.
Interestingly enough, earlier this year, right around the All-Star break, maybe a couple of weeks prior to, as Cal's batting with a man at first base, Naylor on the corner for a strike. Cal doesn't seem too pleased, but does not challenge. The Guardians had used only 5 starting pitchers over halfway through the year, and anybody who's nerdy enough to pay attention to these kinds of things was thinking, hey, maybe this will happen for the first time since 03 in baseball. The Guardians have now used 7 starting pitchers, so that 03 team can celebrate. Another year has gone by and nobody's going to touch that record. The Mariners have used the fewest starting pitchers in baseball this year with 6, and they have worked the most innings out of their rotation. Cal swings and misses on a changeup. 1 out and 1 on. You can turn any game into a keepsake with a commemorative ticket, fully customizable to your exact seat. Special design for the Mariners' 50 season celebration and this year's biggest moments. You can get yours at mariners.com/commemorate. One out, 1 on for Weston Wilson. You know, it's not a surprise that the other end of that scale, in terms of starting pitchers used, the high water marks in baseball history have all come fairly recently. Since 1920, the most starting pitchers used in a single season by a team was 24. That was in 2023 by the Oakland Athletics.
Wow.
That same year, the Kansas City Royals used 23 starting pitchers, just 1 fewer.
Not that you've done a deep dive on this.
This doesn't sound deep enough for you?
No, it's
What else do you want? Lifetime ERA for all 24?
No, I was going to say, because I was thinking the Dodgers, right? Like the Dodgers, because it was all like, you know, injury induced. But I'm thinking the Athletics, maybe it's more of rookies getting opportunities. If you can,
I think,
go
yeah,
ahead.
if you want. You can start calling me Claude, by the way. Yeah, the A's that season in 23 seemed like kind of a confluence of a lot of things, right? Injuries, trying guys out, just searching for any kind of answer possible.
Yeah, you feel like any kind of number that gives a pitcher any kind of value, it's just been flipped on its head. Especially now compared to when you go back to certain days. Obviously pitching deeper in games. It's lost a little bit of its shine. Obviously wins and losses. No one really looks at wins and losses anymore. That used to be a big deal. 200+ innings was that benchmark. It's way tougher to get to that.
Yeah, that's still, that feels like even more of a white whale now, right?
Yeah, it's like, man, if you get to 200 innings, it's like, wow, that's astonishing now all of a sudden. Innings per start.
Foul back, 3-2 still on Wilson. We saw Logan Gilbert get to 200 innings just a couple of years ago. That is just low. Good take by Weston Wilson.
Yeah, really good at bat. Look, Ian Seymour, I talked about him getting roughed up by the Mariners right before the break, 6 runs. A big reason why is because that changeup. The Mariners were able to lay off and recognize that changeup. We're getting heaters middle of the plate. It's been a much better pitch. And Weston Wilson, that was huge right there, laying on some really tough pitches.
Visit out to the mound with 1 out and 2 on. Mariners TV is presented by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. So the Mariners have a couple of men on base. Wilson at first, Naylor, who singled, aboard at second. Colt Emerson, the batter. Over the plate for a strike. Throw to second, and it almost hits Naylor. Trying to keep him close to the base.
Just getting those extra steps. We know about how he tries to use that little shuffle and then go. Trying to catch him flat-footed too. I guarantee this was something discussed during that mound visit. Had the timing play from the catcher.
Chop off the plate and foul. 0-2 on Emerson. Top of the order is next. Mariners a run of the first inning. Nicole Young single after Taylor Ward's triple. Chance to add on here in this second inning. Plenty of traffic early on today for the Mariners against Ian Seymour.
Look out for that changeup. This pitch he throws left on left.
There it is. And a good one. 2 down.
Yeah, really good one. I think Colt was hunting anything down below the strike zone. We know that weakness has been the top. That changeup just runs in underneath the hands. Probably looking for maybe a sweeper or something going the other direction.
Taylor Ward tripled off the wall in left center field his first time up. Called a strike. Yeah, it's been open for business today so far. That high strike getting the call. EQC Tracer showing that clearly as a ball. That's at least the second time that's happened early on. Just on the edge. No player chases less than Taylor Ward. He is remarkably disciplined, and that maybe makes it even. 2-1. Well, you can look at the numbers for him outside the strike zone you see on the screen. It's half the league rate in terms of how often he swings at pitches outside the zone. Soft ground ball tapped back towards the mound, bobbled by Seymour, and Ward is safe. The Mariners have him loaded. A swinging bunt, and the bags are packed.
I'll tell you what, some of the defense right around that same area. We had the pop-up from Dom Canzone in the first inning. The Mariners couldn't make him pay for it. And then this one right here, Ian Seymour. There's plenty of time, just kind of takes his head off that ball, doesn't glove it. Tries to rush the throw. See, UI is getting fired up down there too in the first base box.
It's an error on the pitcher. Base is loaded for Cole Young.
Just like last at bat, coming up swinging. First pitch.
Young has had such a good year overall, especially good since the break, batting over 300. Now both sides with a bases loaded opportunity early. Rays could not cash in on theirs. It was in the top of the first. Hancock left them loaded. Mariners trying to cash in here in the second. Runners all around, 2 outs on a 1-1. 1-2 now.
And keep in mind, you see 44 pitches. The Rays had to cover 9 innings. Griffin Jacks late scratch yesterday.
Jack's dealing with an elbow issue. So bullpen day yesterday for Tampa Bay.
Keep in mind, he finished Colton Emerson off with that changeup, left on left changeup, down and in.
The 1-2 on the ground over to second base, backhand and a flip. Walls is there, and the Mariners leave him loaded. Don't call Mark McLemore a utility player. He was an everyday player who played everywhere. He appeared at second, third, short, all 3 outfield positions. A key member of the 2016 win team. Mariners have the only run early on here today. Final of the series and of the homestand. Jonathan Aranda takes outside. It really is amazing the way that this Rays offense is built. You've got 3 guys at the top who are just tremendous hitters. Yandy Diaz, Jonathan Aranda, and Junior Caminero. And then you got 6 other guys who either are just supreme on base threats or just kind of slap it around the yard and just have to get on base for the top of the order.
Yeah, there's a lot of peskiness when you get past the top of the lineup, that's for sure. I mean, even a guy like Palacios or Mullins down the bottom there. I mean, Mullins has had in the past some flashes of some power, but yeah, you're right. And I remember when we were in Tampa, the big key was get through 1, 2, and 3. I know Chandler Simpson's in there Now Junior Caminero slid down to that 4-hole. But if you can get through those 3, you know what? You can take care of the rest of the lineup. But there's enough, like you said, slapping around the ballpark, enough peskiness to kind of drive you crazy once you get past the top 3 of this lineup.
Now, to their credit, they did acquire Liam Hicks at the deadline. Hicks has been a fantastic on-base threat. Mariners saw him firsthand in Miami before the All-Star break. Hicks is doing the catching today. He's a really good young bat. 3-2 on Aranda. Shallow center field. Colt Emerson with those sunglasses on. 1 away. Time now for today's Walk in the Park with WSECU and Washington State Parks. For every Seattle walk at home this season, WSECU will be donating $200 to Washington State Parks Foundation. This season at home, the Mariners have walked 212 times, bringing the grand total to $42,400. Here's Chandler Simpson. Simpson now hitting a clean 300 on the year. Low strikeout guy, even lower walk. One of the few guys in baseball that's trying to hit the ball on the ground. And he is a supreme ground ball hitter. Trying to utilize his speed. That is over the plate for a strike at a full count. Time called by Simpson, one of the great runners in the game, a burner. He hits this on the ground and into left field. It hits off the short wall, and easy extra bases for Simpson, who takes a wide turn and makes Randy get to it. So 1 out double. Simpson 2 for 2 today now. They might bring the Rays, but a big Washington's lottery win could have you catching tropical rays on your own private beach. Imagine that. Play today. One out and a runner at second. Junior Caminero swings at a 2-seamer that runs a couple of feet in on him.
Now, I've seen this the last couple of days. Pitches well off the plate. He's coming up hacking.
Going right after him with another fastball.
And this happened early in the year, too. I'm not saying it's happening right now. I don't want to jinx this at bat against Emerson Hancock, but early on in the season he had a little dry spell where he was just straight swinging and missing at pitches inside the strike zone. Around June 1st, all of a sudden he picked it back up, started launching those moon shots in that inside Tropicana. He's been just such a lethal hitter. Let's talk about him in the MVP discussion.
Man, he was gearing up. Man, swings and misses at a breaking ball on the top rail. Hancock strikes him out on 3 pitches.
Well, a big strikeout. You mentioned the fact he just did it on 3 pitches. You got Chandler Simpson bouncing around out at second base. You do have the open base. So with Emerson Hancock facing Junior Caminero, you think there was going to be a little bit of element of pitching outside the strike zone, but man, he went fishing on that first one. Second, and then the second one, that big miss in the middle of the plate, put him away.
Changeup missing down and away. Does not get Hicks to chase after. Ball 1. Out to right field. Straight away right. And the catch made by Taylor Ward to retire the side. A fan favorite in his 4 years in Seattle, Mike Cameron, an infectious personality and a key member of the 116-2001 team. An all-star, two-time Gold Glove winner, and $1 million smile. Gotta love him. Mike Cameron. The great John Olerud, born right here in Seattle. He starred at Washington State, won 3 Gold Gloves in 5 seasons with the Yens, was an 01 All-Star. Third cycle in franchise history was authored by that man. Only Hall of Famers Ron Santo and Ryan Sandberg have a higher career WAR among players born in our state than John Olerud. Fantastic first baseman and one of the top 50 players all time in franchise history that were unveiled yesterday in that remarkable pregame ceremony. Rosarena fouls back the first pitch. And Hyphen, I know Olerud has a very special place for you.
Yes. Yeah, your favorite player growing up. I got into the, obviously he wasn't a Mariner back in 1993, that World Series, but he was the guy who I'd emulate in the living room, pressing the rewind button on the VHS tapes. Had a chance to meet him here and there, got a chance to see him yesterday as well, and special moment even for me too, watching him walk out on that field as one of the top 50.
Well, he's just a wonderful man. Lives here in Seattle still. Comes by the ballpark every so often, and an incredible career. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is rolled over to Walls at shortstop, to first base in time. 1 down.
Yeah, so much traffic these first couple of innings from the Mariners. Great sign, but you're looking up thinking, okay, 1-0. Got Ian Seymour, 49 pitches in. Get off the ropes a little bit. That error in that second inning. Mariners need to find a way to cash in.
Down and in, ball 1 to Canzone. There it is again.
And a pitch at the top of the strike zone. No challenges either. Taylor Ward a couple times. Tom Canzone.
Yeah, it feels like this has happened to the Mariners more than it has the Rays. But tell you what, you have the challenge system for a reason. So if you're not going to challenge, you can't really complain about it. Broken bat. And that took a really funny spin. He almost threw a slider out there. You could see that ball cutting away from Palacios at second base. That broken bat did a thing or two to that ball.
See if you can see it on this angle. It was off the barrel, broke the bat. Oh, got the barrel twice. You see that kind of rolled off.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Use that English.
I mean, that looked like a right-handed slider thrown to second base. Julio fouls it back. Strike 1.
Well, off-balance swings, especially against that changeup. Righties have done way less damage than lefties. Kind of the reverse splits for Ian Seymour. Big reason why is that changeup. They wanted to develop that sweeper. That was a pitch that he worked really hard coming into spring training. His first major league start late around this time last year, but he's always been kind of viewed as the bulk guy. Only facing the lineup just a couple times.
One and two. Now, that's my kind of family.
Assistant's got the spoon, so.
One of them started earlier than the other. 1-2. Out there in the bleachers in the sunshine on a Sunday inside T-Mobile Park. Double fisting some Dippin' Dots out there.
Care less about the top 50.
I mean, how much root beer we got in that Trident Cup? 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Way to go, fam. Hey, it's pretty early for the spoon. There's going to be round 2 of that coming pretty soon. Strike 3 called. Sweeper down and in. Julio strikes out for the second time. The Mariners' 50 Seasons Pin Series continues August 23rd. Don't miss your chance to add King Felix K-Pin to your collection thanks to KeyBank. Available to the first 10,000 fans before the Mariners take on the Cubs. Mariners.com/pins. There's Josh Naylor. Well, the Mariners have had some traffic in this game against Seymour.
All right, Josh Naylor, the 2 home runs, the double. Maybe he's found something hitting up single already today. A couple home runs against lefties. A pitch just like that. Scared me, Goldie, jumping out of your seat.
I wanted to make sure Rick was okay. I mean, a man just got nearly put in the Mariners Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I mean,
good point.
Date to be determined. We got to make sure that he's all right.
Well, he's got security around him now. That's the Hall of Famer.
Naylor does not exactly look full strength after that.
Yeah, we've seen more of that lately. That wrist, shaking that wrist. Have a look right here. The hanging breaking ball, swings out of his shoes as he does.
Feeling something.
Ooh, yeah.
Way upstairs. Surprised that wasn't called a strike. Two outs and Canzone at first base. He's got a couple of hits today. The 1-2. Right to first base. And the side retired. Lefty reliever Arthur Rhodes. He pitched 5 seasons with the Mariners. His 312 games pitched ranked 5th most in franchise history. Kazuhiro Sasaki joined the Mariners in 2000. He was named American League Rookie of the Year. Kaz was named an All-Star each of the next 2 years. His 129 career saves remain the most ever in franchise history. This is a ground ball right in line with Cole Young. Victor Mesa is out on the first pitch. Tell you what, Andres Munoz is climbing that leaderboard for the saves. He is not far away from being #1 all time. He's approaching 100. Kaz 129, most ever.
You had someone on that leaderboard in here yesterday. JJ Putz hanging out.
JJ 101, 3rd most all time.
A lot of people agree with me when I talked about that intro video and music.
I like how you started this this entire premise you're beginning with. Can we make that more of a staple for you? Like, actually, that'd be a great pregame segment.
What's that?
A lot of people agree with me when I said, and then you can just have a take for the day, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying as this ball hits him.
When Thunderstruck, his intro music, video, I mean, the Mariners do it so good. I mean, they always have, right? But they'd always try and pick a song with something to do with, you know, the name or whatever it may be. Hey, by the way, I do have There was one former teammate who did not like his walkout song.
Okay.
He was a hitter. He kept asking, can I change it? I said, yeah, sure. And the same song just kept coming up because it's to do with his name. I'm not going to mention any names here, but yeah, I mean, they did such a good job. But man, it seriously gave you goosebumps when he walked up and you saw little JJs everywhere, with the music. Epic. So good.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question here. When we had JJ on, it was in the 5th inning last night.
Yeah.
All right, so the hours that you've been awake from the time that JJ was on the air with us until right now. I mean, you've been awake for fewer than 8 hours since that. So when you say a lot of people agreed with you, what are we talking here?
I'm getting people texting
blown
in.
up?
Oh, blowing up. Yeah, 3. No, some people on social media
okay. All right.
reached out to me, and then I'm getting text messages from people saying, yeah, I remember that. It was awesome when he came in.
That's all the ding, 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 ding.
And then someone, no, not right now. Someone tried to, I'm a professional. I turned the phone on silent. Someone did mention that I guess Eddie Guardado may have had Thunderstruck for a quick second before he came in.
Okay.
So he took it from him. I don't remember that. I wasn't around then, but I was thinking back. I was like, was that the case?
Well,
I thought it was an original.
That's just past Weston Wilson. He's frustrated with himself. That ball was right there. It looked like it was within arm's reach. Got on him fast, but nevertheless. Runners at first and second. Let's take a look at this.
This ball does get on him quick. And it's that quick movement to your right. Get that glove to the ball. But yeah, he looks frustrated. This is that pesky part of the lineup, Goldsmith, that you talked about, where they kind of hit the ball, slap the ball all over the field. So Palacios had that big hit in that 6th inning, that 2-run base hit against Michael Rucker, standing on that breaking ball.
So the Rays making some noise with the top of their order due up next. They've got 2 on. And 1 out for Taylor Walls. Walls, tremendous speed, not an easy man to double up.
Another pitch right there. That pitch at the top of the strike zone didn't get called a strike, and Emerson had a long look in.
He's behind 2-0 now. Walls has only grounded into 4 double plays this year. One out and 2 on. Three-one pitch. Shallow right center field, and Ward comes in to make the catch. That's a big second out as the lineup card turns over.
Really is. He's got a 3-1 count. You can see Emerson just kind of taking his time before engaging with Walls. That big breath, make sure he could execute. Seen him at times slip behind in counts. Not to mention too, as he flipped the lineup over Yandy Diaz. In my opinion, I think the dangerous hitter today for Emerson Hancock is on deck, and that's Jonathan Aranda.
And why is that?
Just because, well, first of all, the way he's been swinging, and that second and third at bat, that's when he has been doing some big damage this season in 2026. I just feel like just the matchup. I think he does well against changeups. He can get to that fastball at the top of the strike zone. And again, nothing against Yandy Diaz, the man at the plate.
Down and in for a strike. Now Diaz has been incredible this year, batting close to 400 with runners in scoring position. Top mark. Call a strike. 0-2. That's a big get.
Yeah, that is, really is. A little hanging breaking ball. Backs up. It's a strike ball. Take that all day long. I'm going back to that pitch right there, but you got to execute. Again, we talked about a runner being on deck, the lefty. Get your fingers on top of that ball and bury it down and away. There you go. Still only 2-2. There you have options. You get a fastball up because he basically told Yandy Diaz you're going to try and get him chasing that breaking ball.
On the ground, and it finds left field. Mullins hits third on his way home, and this game is tied. With 2 strikes, Yandy Diaz pokes a base hit into left. And that 1-out hit by pitch to Cedric Mullins comes around to touch home plate.
And that's tough. And you get that weaker contact on the ground. This is just, again, another backing up breaking ball. Said this in the open. That's the pitch. If he can get that consistently, that execution when you're talking down and away, that sweep on that pitch, he's going to be in good shape. But man, just another miss. It's Yandy Diaz.
So here's the man you were just talking about, Jonathan Aranda. 2 outs and 2 on. Tied game in the 4th inning. Strike 1. Oh, 2.
I think your best bet here, if you're Emerson, climb the ladder, but it's got to be up well above the strike zone, where you can tunnel that changeup like off that fastball down and away.
Fastball on the outer edge. A 28-pitch first inning where Hancock was able to leave him loaded. Line to second base. Young makes the catch. Side retired, but the game now tied. 11 seasons with the Mariners over 3 stints. Raul Ibanez ranks 9th all-time in team history in homers and games played. His 6 hits in 1 game back in 2004 remains a club record.
At
Pizza Hut.
Cal Raleigh leads it off for the Mariners. Game now tied at 1. Cal struck out on a changeup his last time up. One ball and 1 strike. Time called by Cal. Right center field. 1 away. This portion of the game is brought to you by Northwest Buick GMC. See your Northwest GMC dealer today. And by Amazon. Spend less on your kids for back to school. One down for Weston Wilson. There might not be anything in any other sport that makes a team look worse than when a baseball team can't score runs.
Yeah.
No team looks like they have any type of energy or pulse or priority when you can't score. And that's what the Mariners have looked like, unfortunately, for quite some time at this point. A check swing, and they're going to roll the dice, and a foul ball. Well, that's a good move by Caminero, playing the lottery right there, hoping.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, because this ball had enough roll to it where you think to yourself, all right, and enough grass to it as well. But he started to kind of change that angle, get that lip.
Let's say clearly roll foul. He had no chance to get him at first base if he had picked it up.
Yeah, but usually instinctually like that, you kind of charge it in, try to get to that ball. You played it back. It's the right option. No, you're absolutely right. And again, it's tough because, you know, as fans, for us too, we're all the way up here. We're not in that dugout. You don't hear the conversations or in that clubhouse. But just the whole idea of trying to manufacture some energy because you're not getting it on the field in regards to the offense.
1-2. Well, the Mariners getting a run, 2 batters into this ball game. They've been held off the board since then. Still a ball and 2 strikes with 1 out to Weston Wilson, getting the start today at third base. Brendan Donovan a day off as he makes his return from the injured list. Two outs. Message now from Papa Murphy's.
Great pizza doesn't have to cost a fortune. Summer selects at Papa Murphy's are just $8.99 all summer long. We make it fresh. You bake it hot. Papa Murphy's, the way pizza should be.
2 up, 2 down for Cole Emerson. He pops this straight up. Can the Rays make a play on this one? Side retired in order. Joel Pinheiro, a former 12th round pick by the Mariners, 7 seasons with Seattle, part of the 2001 team, ranks 8th all time in games started and 7th in innings pitched. This game all tied at 1, moving to the top of the 5th inning. Final game of the homestand. Chandler Simpson on the ground. Man, the pressure you must feel as an infielder when Chandler Simpson hits the ball your way.
Yeah, Emerson again, second time today off Chandler Simpson.
Infield base hit right here.
Glove it. I mean, really 0 chance. And that ball gets past Emerson Hancock.
3-hit day today, 5 for 11 in the series. And if you're Hancock, not the guy you want to have on base right away to begin the inning, and the tied game in particular. Big swing and a chopper foul. A lot of double play balls this year for Junior Caminero. Hancock would love one of those right here. Busts him up and in. Caminero, 21 ground ball double plays this year, the most in the majors. Freddie Freeman, the next closest, with 17. I mean, it is wild for a guy who hits as many home runs as he does. He's one of the top ground ball hitters in baseball. 9th highest ground ball rate in the majors. And when you look at the guys ahead of him, they don't have 30 home runs. And he does. Hancock steps off.
And hitting fourth in line. We've seen plenty of him hitting third. That was kind of the staple from about mid-June.
And they were able to corral that throw.
You see him trying to slide Mullins in there. Now Chandler Simpson. Right, some of that pressure when he's up. Chandler Simpson's on base, just like this situation here, like last situation, last at bat.
Simpson tied for the second most stolen bases in the game. There he goes. This is popped up, and Simpson gets deked. He's racing back, and they let it fall. Naylor throws to second, and they get the out. They take the speed off the bases. Really heads-up play there by by Josh Naylor.
Yeah, it really was. Because there's a lot going on right now. Obviously, before the play's made, I mean, you always have to know where you're going to go, right? Especially when you got multiple runners on. But you got Chandler Simpson taking off, so Josh Naylor knows this. Obviously, the ball's hanging up in the air, and you got to make that split-second decision to let that ball drop. I'll tell you what, Junior Caminero could have easily been standing midway between first and third base. Excuse me, first and home plate.
Now, really smart play by Josh Naylor. Such a stark contrast between Simpson and basically any other runner at first base. So here is Hicks.
I'll tell you who loves that. That's Emerson Hancock on the mound. I'm telling you.
And if you're wondering, well, why does that not apply for the infield fly rule? It's because the onus is on the runner to run to first base. And there have been plenty of times in baseball history where a batter with a runner at first base pops one on the infield and just starts walking back to the dugout, assuming he's out. And then the infielder does what Naylor did, and you get a double play out of it. This ball is dropping in for a base hit. Caminero into second, and Hicks is aboard with a soft single.
Yeah, he busted back so quick on this ball. Weston Wilson, really no chance. This one's no man's land here. Again, another tough spot for Emerson Hancock. We saw this early in the game, obviously in the first inning. A couple other times he's had some big at-bats. He's going to come up with some pitches, but you're at pitch 90 right now. So again, all of a sudden the tank's starting to empty a little bit here in the fifth inning. And a big out. You only got the one out here in the fifth. Jose Ferrer slowly starting to get loose in that Mariners bullpen. Cal's coming out to give Jose Ferrer a little bit more time. It's another thing we talked about Goldie in the open. You don't have Gabe Spire. He's still suspended today. Bullpen is a man short.
Yeah, Gabe serving his second and final day of the suspension after throwing intentionally at a batter.
I guarantee you another part of the the meeting right here is just to let him know. We talked about this with Victor Mesa Jr., how aggressive he is. He's been swinging it of late, hitting the ball hard last couple of weeks, but he will be coming out of the gate swinging. So that's another time where you want to try and sneak in and get ahead in the count.
Mesa to right field. Ward is there, makes the catch. Simpson, pardon me, he's gone now, remember? Caminero goes second.
Josh Taylor's thinking you out there.
After Caminero took his first stride, I thought, that doesn't look like Chandler Simpson. So 2 outs and runners on the corners. Here is veteran outfielder Cedric Mullins. Mullins has been aboard twice today without a hit. He has walked and been hit by a pitch. Just missing up and away, ball one. 2-0. Got a lefty on deck in Palacios and the switch hitting Taylor Walls. Only 2 batters in this lineup hit right-handed.
And you really need Emerson Hancock to finish this inning off. I mean, when you're trying to bridge here in a 1-1 game, Pizarro didn't pitch yesterday. He's obviously available. Jose Ferrer didn't pitch yesterday either.
Wilson giving this a look, but it's into the crowd. Well, just the fact that Hancock is still pitching with the go-ahead run at third base, maybe that does point to what you were bringing up about Spire not being available, being a man short of the bullpen. You have a day off tomorrow. Broken back ground ball, and it wiggles through. Caminero scores. Cedric Mullins claps his hands at first base. He has given the Rays a 5th inning lead.
And that peskiness down the bottom of this lineup. We saw Palacios break through in the 6th last night. Mullins with 2 outs, getting that lead. That'll bring Dan Wilson out to the mound.
Well, you think about the way that this inning has unfolded. An infield base hit from Simpson. Hicks with that parachute job base hit into short left field, and now Mullins just threads the needle and finds center field, and it will cost Hancock the 5th inning. He has to come out with 2 down, and the Rays have taken the lead for air coming in.
This summer, 2 fan favorites are.
Ichiro won the Rookie of the Year and the MVP in his first season in Seattle. He began his career making 10 straight All-Star teams, winning 10 consecutive Gold Gloves. A 2-time batting champion. He set a major league record, posting 10 consecutive 200-hit campaigns. There will never be another Ichiro. And a pretty good showing in the home run derby as well.
Yeah, not bad. Emerson Hancock, he had that big first inning, 28 pitches. Had to come up with some big pitches too, some big strikeouts. But man, a lot of high stress early on. Only able to get into the 5th, and that was it.
First pitch is in play against Ferrer. Valade pinch hitting is out number 3. On to the bottom of the 5th, the Rays have taken the lead. Don't touch his head. Adrian Beltre spent 5 seasons of his Hall of Fame career in Seattle. He won back-to-back Gold Gloves 07 and 08. He remains the only player in T-Mobile Park history to hit an inside-the-park home run. He was also the last Mariner to hit for the cycle. Don't ever touch his head. He has a real thing for that.
He sure does. Man, defensively, I had him play third base when I was pitching here. The difference it makes when he is playing third base is insane.
Wall's a backhand. And cleaned up over at first base by Aranda. One away.
I'll try this little weak slider down and into right. He's just get creamed down towards third base. There was Beltray. I was like, yeah, we're good.
Just what I was hoping to have happen.
Yeah.
Why don't you hit it 110 right at that guy?
Yeah, exactly. Man, when he left, it was night and day. Having defense play behind you.
So many years for Beltray in Arlington in the division. He and Felix would always have great matchups that would normally end at somebody laughing at the other one. One ball and a one strike to Cole Young. Borderline pitch. Mariners still have both their challenges. And they have had plenty to challenge today. Two and two. Sweeper up and in. 2 outs. Today's Overlake Medical Center and Clinic's health report. Carlos Vargas last night rehab outing in Everett. Great to see him back on the mound. We haven't seen him at all this year. He went on the injured list essentially on opening day. A right lat issue. Last year, his first full season in the major leagues, and overall was very good in the roles he was asked to fill. A guy who can kind of be a higher leverage guy if somebody is down, can keep you close in a game if you're trailing and you got some big bats coming up, can really fill a variety of roles, can work multiple innings, and the Mariners have really felt his loss. 0-2 on Randy.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I brought this up yesterday, but looking, you mentioned first full season. I mean, he had the only time he had in the big leagues was 4 2/3 innings D-backs before last year, and then he goes 77. Crazy.
And guys, Dan Wilson was talking about it. Through 9 pitches, they were really happy with all of the pitches that he threw last night. But the big question is, and we want to know how many more outings does he have to have before we get to see him again.
Line and caught by Wall. Side sat down in order.
The answer is wait and see, and we'll have to see how he responds after starts like last night or outings last night.
The King, Felix, 15 years on the show, all with Seattle. A perfect game, an immaculate inning, and a grand slam. One of a kind. King Felix. Hopefully we'll see him in Cooperstown one day.
They say
top of the order is next after Walls. Plenty of lefties in this lineup for the Rays today. Walls was in the starting lineup yesterday, then was a bit of a late scratch because of lower back tightness. We did, however, see him come off the bench last night, so he was able to play and in the lineup today. Tampa Bay comes into this one at 70-46. They are the first team to 70 wins in the league. They lead the Yankees by 4.5 games in the American League East. And a win today, they'd become the first team in the American League 25 games over 500. Now they have got it rolling this year. Next closest team, the Yankees, are 18 games over. Out to the gap in right center field. Walls a base hit, and his speed is aboard at first base. Message now from AAA Washington.
Yeah, AAA, my hoopty is down, man.
Oh, your hoopty. We got a truck on the way.
My hoopty rolling, tailpipe dragging, heat don't work, and my
Leadoff man is aboard. And the top of the order, Yandy Diaz. Can you call it eye black?
I was just paying attention to that. I was going to ask you. What you got on that?
Base hit left side. Diaz, a really good hitter, aboard for the third time. His third knock. Yeah, it's like reverse eye black, right? I guess reverse eye black would maybe not have any eye black.
Yeah, I don't know what the performance enhancer is in regards to that eye black.
You mean,
but
are you trying to say how it helps?
Yeah. So that's what I'm going for. That gives you athletic advantage. I don't know. I'm trying to use the right terms there for it. How do you get that off your face? But yeah, it's a good look though.
Plenty of hits today, 11 of them for the Rays, and they've got the table set for the teeth of their order. Here is Jonathan Aranda. And this gets away from Cal Raleigh. Both runners taken off. Both will advance.
Ferrer just threw the one pitch to get out of that fifth inning. And he's starting to see a bit of that command start to slip.
Infield is now drawn in.
So a sneaky 98-99. Ground ball rates right back up where we had it last year as well. Infield pulled in. Time there for a swing and miss right here for Jose Ferrer.
He got him looking just as good. Locked him up at 100.
I'll tell you what, his command started to go, but what a time to get on the black with 100 down and away. Nothing Aranda could do with that. Now, this is where it gets tough. You got the infield pulled in. We saw Chandler Simpson do this those first couple at bats where he was just trying to chop something to that left side of the infield.
Showing bunt again. Now the Rays really put the pressure on a defense, especially with his speed. Squaring again, drops the bunt down, a flip home, and Walls is out.
Great play right there from Jose Ferrer, man. I mean, this is tougher than it looks. The key here is not to stop. When you pick up this ball, you just keep charging towards home. Mentioned speed of Walls over at first base, but third base, excuse me. Just keep charging in. and get that ball to your catcher. That's tough too, because sometimes you want to make that split-second decision where you want to barehand the ball because you feel like you don't have enough time. Trapped it, kept it in front of him. And all the way to home plate. Nice play.
An intentional walk to Caminero. They avoid the right-handed power bat and instead will face the left-handed hitting catcher Liam Hicks. By the way, the one pitcher that I have seen take more ground balls from Perry Hill before a game is Jose Ferrer.
Really?
He has been a fairly consistent presence, I would say, at the bucket. This drops in for a base hit. Diaz is in to score. Simpson is coming around now. And a soft base hit from Hicks works out for a 2-run double. And the Rays now in front 4-1.
Hicks just fighting his pitch off, man. Looping that ball over Wilson's head. 2 outs, everyone's running. Man, 4-1 Tampa. What a blow that is here in the 6th.
Strike 1-2, Victor Mesa Jr. He calls for time. Cal having a hard time handling that slider, able to keep it in front of him. Broken bat. Emerson circles around it, and they get the out at first to retire the side. 2 more runs in. Death to flying things. The great Franklin Gutierrez, known as one of the best defensive center fielders in his time. He won the Gold Glove in 2010 and remains part of the organization, working in player development with the Mariners.
Mariners baseball. Try this out.
Well, we found out last night during our wonderful pregame ceremony that the great Rick Ribbs will be inducted into the Mariners Hall of Fame next season. He was honored just a moment ago inside T-Mobile Park. Up on Mariners Fire TV. Congrats to Rick. What an incredible career, remarkable accomplishment. And the voice of Mariners baseball for so long. 41 seasons he has been behind the microphone. And he was surprised by the whole thing yesterday during the ceremony on the field when Chairman John Stanton made the announcement. 0-2 on Canzone. This will be Rick's final year. I'm sure a trip to Italy is in his future. He might have to. Mariners might have to schedule the Hall of Fame induction around that for Rick next year.
Yeah, his reaction was priceless, man. Just how emotional he was sitting there next to Dan Wilson.
So sweet.
Canzone strikes out. Set with the punch out for Seymour. Now the next Mariners fireworks night is Friday, August 21st. Come out to the ballpark when the Mariners take on the Cubs and enjoy a post-game fireworks spectacular. Thanks to T-Mobile and 98.9 The Bull. Mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets. Here is Julio. Cubs right now second in the National League Central. They are 5.5 behind Milwaukee. Mariners will be playing the Brewers in the final leg of the upcoming road trip. Brewers have the best record in baseball, only team with a better record than these Rays. You know, the thing when you look at Milwaukee and Tampa Bay that really stands out, those two teams are by far the best year in and year out at making the most of what they've got. I mean, the sum of the parts for those two teams every year is incredible. Obviously, we know about the payroll for both teams, how much both teams rely on drafting and developing and their prospects coming up and playing. But man,
yeah,
both those teams have it rolling. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Julio.
Yeah, we always talk about doing the little things. We saw that with the Brewers last year, just how everything, obviously all the boring things, that some of the fundamental parts of the game that they just have so dialed in. You mentioned the drafting and developing. Obviously the Rays on the pitching side as well matches what the Mariners are able to do.
Good take on the corner just off the plate. Well, like the Mariners, for both those teams, it starts with the pitching. Both are excellent on the mound. Brewers second in earned run average as Julio draws a walk. Rays on the top leaderboard as well. Well, their bullpen hasn't been quite as good this year, but the Rays rotation has been excellent. Mariners have a man on for Josh Naylor. If I were to ask you which qualified hitter for the Milwaukee Brewers leads the best team in baseball with a 138 WRC plus and an 867 OPS, I don't know if you or anybody else outside of the state of Wisconsin would be able to tell me the answer. I will tell you this: he is a former Mariner and a former Ray.
Give it to me.
Jake Bauers.
What? Really?
Yes. Bauers actually made his major league debut against the Mariners with the Rays. That was a short-lived Mariner.
I will say, watching him obviously with the Brewers, some of these guys, you know, they find a home, they find a coach, they find some teammates, they get comfortable. Then all of a sudden they start hitting their potential.
Popped. And out. 2 down. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Here's Cal Raleigh. Two outs and a man aboard. This ball is stung to left, and Simpson lays out and takes a hit away from Cal Raleigh. Third baseman Kyle Seager spent his entire 11-year career in Seattle. He finished 4th in team history in games played, hits, and homers. Recorded 9 seasons of 20 home runs, tied with Junior for the most in team history.
Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Hisashi Iwakuma, a 2013 All-Star. He finished 3rd of the Cy Young vote that year. He has 1 career complete game. It was a memorable one. A no-hitter against the Baltimore Orioles. 3.42 ERA for Kuma. Lifetime is tied for the lowest mark in franchise history. Hisashi Iwakuma, one of the top 50 Mariners, unveiled in last night's pregame ceremony. Pizzardo takes over as it looks like maybe having a pitch comm issue. Let's see. And he's saying he needs a new one, so all hands on deck.
You can see Cal just went straight for the fingers. Old school. Play umpire Gabe Morales making sure they get the pitch comm all sorted out.
Pete's not crossing the line. No mound visit here. Court awareness. Cedric Mullins. All right, when you see a pitcher who has given up a lot of home runs in a short period of time. Bizzardo, 6 homers in his last 11 games. What does it say to you?
Well, I think I'm not going to say it's just coincidence. They're all long balls, but a lot of hard contact, obviously. What I'm seeing with him, just paying attention to some of the pitch sequencing and everything else, I just think the sweeper to me is a pitch he's lost a ton of confidence in. And you see that good 96 was sink on the inner half of the plate. So I'm curious to see right now. I know he's got that little split in his back pocket as well, especially against lefties. But I'm curious here because he keeps shaking to get a fastball because I just don't think he feels right with that sweeper of his. Now, everyone's different when they're having this little string. See, there it is right there. So it's kind of that, it doesn't have that same conviction to it. He's trying to make it too big. He hasn't got that same feel for it. Everyone's a little bit different though. Why they're giving up home runs, but I think now, there's another one over the middle of the plate. So you can see. By the way, did you see Cal's tapping the glove on the ground, knowing it's been a problem for him?
Back to the last pitch.
Just kind of hanging up there, and then again, not all the home runs he's given up, but a lot of them. That pitch right there.
Fly ball backs Ward up to the wall.
Wow.
One away. The insurance you get brought to you by Pimco Insurance. Triple Crown watch going on in the American League West with Yordan Alvarez leading the league in average, in homers, and in ribbies. Mariners are going to Houston in this upcoming road trip. New York, Houston, and Milwaukee. Miguel Cabrera, the last Triple Crown winner in the American League.
And by the way, too, when you're going back and talking about these home runs he's given up, now the last 4, for example, sweeper, 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 and then the sinker. And then you say, well, he's given up one on the sinker. The reason why is because when you can't land that pitch, hitters can start keying in on the. There's a good one right there. See, sometimes it just takes 1 or 2. Get a good feel for it. Doesn't matter who's hitting. Doesn't have to be Junior Caminero. But you get that 60-foot reaction, and all of a sudden that conviction can come back on that pitch, and you get right back on track.
Carson Williams pops this up, foul ground, and Cal Raleigh makes the catch.
And you're holding your breath there for a second because Josh Naylor gave up on this play. I think Cal was not set underneath his ball at all. Able to stay with it, still holding onto that mask. Nice grab.
Here's Taylor Walls. Oh, and 2. There's that splitter, the rare split finger from Edward Bizzardo. 2 outs, nobody on top of the order would be next. Rays today have 4 runs on a dozen hits. Does he go? No. Walls has battled back into the count from 0-2 to 3-2. Pops him up. Short right field. Taylor Ward. Bizzardo keeps the ball in the park. Retires the side in order. The lefty from Ladner, James Paxton, 7 years with the Mariners, threw the 6th no-hitter in franchise history in 2018 against the Blue Jays in Toronto. The first Canadian-born pitcher to ever throw a no-hitter in Canada. The Big Maple. We'll keep it right here for God Bless America.
On this Sunday afternoon, we direct your attention to the area behind home plate. Once again, joining us to sing God Bless America. Please welcome back the Mwongo Sisters.
God bless America, the land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above.
From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Yep, just got back.
Washington's lottery helps fund the WA grant. Free money for college, training, or apprenticeships. You play all of Washington wins. Rays in front 4-1, moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. You could hardly believe it when you heard the news back in the day that Robinson Cano had signed a mega free agent deal to become a Seattle Mariner. 5 years with the Yims, a 3-time All-Star, an All-Star Game MVP. A ton of doubles in that sweet swing. And nobody caught a pop-up more consistently, more chalantly than Robinson Cano. Cam Boozer pitching for the 2nd time in this series. 0-2 on Weston Wilson.
It's not like I want to throw a lot of shade at Robinson Cano's game, but I would tell kids all the time, unless your name is Robinson Cano, do not catch a pop fly like that. That is so difficult to do, what he does. But that's what happens when you practice something.
You mean not look at it and catch it on your shoulder?
On your shoulder, in no man's land. It is just such a dangerous place.
He made a lot of things look pretty easy.
It's so true. He used to say it, I remember, just so specifically, that he plays with the ball. And he plays with the ball and he allows the ball to travel. Never, going out front to get the ball, but allowing the ball always to come to him and use the ball's energy within his glove to make his next move. He was fun to watch defensively.
Well, his 5 years here, he lived up to the contract. Now, obviously, his career is clouded, multiple PED suspensions. Unfortunately, he was well on his way to being a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest second basemen of all time. And you look at that enormous contract that he signed, that 10-year deal with the Mariners, and in the 5 years he was here before being traded to the Mets, he was worth every penny. He was fantastic. Colt Emerson batting now.
And then offensively for Robbie, you look at his approach to hitting and everything. He would take your best fastball up the middle or to left center field. And then if you tried to spin anything, he was the one that did that drill, the screen drill, where he was so good at taking anything inside and keeping it fair.
Emerson lost his helmet on the swing, 1-2. That's a pure hitter. Two and two. Swinging upstairs. 2 outs. The next Mariners homestand gets started with a marquee interleague matchup. Pete Crow Armstrong and the Cubs come to town August 21st to the 23rd. Mariners.com/tickets. That's a fun homestand with the Cubs and the Phillies. Some real star power coming to town with those two franchises. Here is Taylor Ward. Mariners scored 1 run, 2 batters into this game. They have been held off the board since. 4 unanswered by the Rays in the meantime. Check swing foul. In the air out to right field. And the side retired. Who doesn't love watching the boomstick hit some bombs? A 2-time All-Star with the Mariners in 4 seasons in Seattle. 3-time, I take it back. A 2-time Silver Slugger and one of the most feared power hitters during his 19-year Major League career, Nelson Cruz.
Exclusively at the Home Depot.
Top of the 8th underway. Ball 1 to Yandy Diaz. Bizzardo back out there for his 2nd inning of work. Into center field. The hits just keep coming. 13 today for Tampa Bay. It's a 4-hit day for their leadoff man. A word now from Enzo.
Next stop, game day. Visit this brand new community. Steps from the Linwood Light Rail. Round the bases and come home to Enzo. Visit enzolinwood.com today.
Cal Raleigh out. 2nd inning for Bizzardo. Bullpen is up. Michael Rucker warming.
And Rucker threw 29 pitches yesterday. Back out there. Obviously this game's changed a lot since we're talking about Emerson Hancock back in that 4th, 5th inning, talking about trying to cover some ground for this bullpen. Get the off day tomorrow. Now they're down by 3.
Aranda, the batter. Ground ball right back. Bizzardo on to Emerson. On to first base.
Nice play. Bizzardo with Emerson. Some good pitching defense from the Mariners. He slams the Rosenbach down. They got to this ball quick, kind of falling off that side of the mound. See right here. And then he just kind of floats his throw right there. Colin Emerson just kind of straddling behind the bag. Nice little double play. That's huge. See, he floated it so much. Cole had to kind of stall a little bit, keep that foot on the bag. Had plenty of time though.
So 2 outs and the base is empty. Chandler Simpson batting. A 3-hit day for the speedy left fielder of the Rays. Low sinking liner. Emerson, this is impossible with his speed. 2nd batter with a 4-hit game. How often does that happen? This portion of the game is brought to you by UW Medicine at Harborview. Backed by research and innovation, UW Medicine delivers all care at this King County owned hospital. UW Medicine at Harborview, a higher degree of health care. Rucker's coming in. We've got a pitching change. J.P. Crawford is the longest tenured active Mariner and the franchise's all-time leader at games played at the shortstop position. When you look at this current era of Mariners baseball, it really began with the Mariners acquiring that man from the Phillies. Former Gold Glove winner J.P. Crawford, unfortunately right now on the injured list. What a Mariners career he has had. A free agent at the end of this year. What will the future hold for J.P. Crawford, a guy who has said very publicly that he wants to be a Mariner for life?
Yeah, I mean, willing to remove himself from really the highest value position, that being shortstop.
Well, he moved off the shortstop this year, of course, when Colt Emerson started playing there regularly. Colt came up as the third baseman for the Mariners. And we have another PitchCom issue. Getting to be the end of a long homestand for the PitchCom devices, maybe.
Someone forgot to charge him up last night.
I would make the case that the Mariners are fortunate that this is only a 3-run game, given the fact that they are being out-hit 14-5 in this contest.
We talked about this with Emerson Hancock. Not able to get through 5 through so many pitches, but man, he made some big ones when he needed to.
Ground ball. Young takes it to the bag himself.
Swings himself. Some hits.
All the best to the Rock on the south side. Game 1 of the Wild Card Series in 2022 in Toronto. One of the most memorable pitch games in franchise history, and Luis Castillo part of breaking that playoff drought. A Mariner great, the Rock, Luis Castillo. Rays in front by 3, bottom of the 8th. Mariners down to their final 6 outs in this one. And loser looks like he is on for one more batter here in Cole Young. You've got Randy Arozarena due up next. Activity inside Kevin Cash's bullpen. He shoots this out to left field. A base hit for Cole Young.
Right.
Well, Mariners are within reach in this game. Can they get something going?
That's been the deal all series long. Josh Snell stepped up last night, couple home runs. Cole Young's been red hot, but just trying to get something going, get that big inning.
Casey Legamina coming in, the former Mariner, to face Randy Arozarena. We've got a pitching change. Congratulations to another active Mariner making the top 50. Former first-round draft pick out of Stetson, Logan Gilbert, just recently reaching 1,000 career strikeouts and already truly one of the best starting pitchers in franchise history.
Congratulations.
Mariners trying to crawl back within just a couple now. 4-1. Mariners have a man on base with nobody out for Arozarena. Can the Mariners get something going facing Legumina?
Legumina, who started yesterday's game, throwing an inning in the third. Former Mariner.
0-2 on Arozarena. Mariners have not had a whole lot of traction offensively since the first couple of innings. They scored their lone run in the first. They left the bases loaded in the second. Since then, not many chances. Still 1-2. Tying run is on deck for the Mariners. And Dom Canzone is guaranteed to face a righty. Randy trying to get on base for him. Aranda's got a beat on this in front of the Mariners dugout. One down. The American Red Cross is providing critical support for families impacted by the Eastern Washington wildfires throughout August 14th. Through August 14th, PIMCO will match up to $50,000 in donations made using this QR code you see on the screen. 1 out, 1 on. Here is Dom Canzone. Shove foul. Good pitch to hit 93 over the plate.
This is where Legumina has been tough against lefties. He's got reverse splits. Righties have done more damage. That four seam at the top of the strike zone, up and away. So trying to get guys to get to that changeup as well.
Mullins in center field. 2 outs. Young stays put. It brings up Julio. Julio named to the top 50 all-time Mariners, made his debut in 2022, has been a part of multiple postseason teams, and the only player in franchise history with more than one 30-30 season. He's done it twice already in his young career. Trying to extend an 8-game hit streak today. He's been aboard with a walk. Oh, 0-2 on Julio. Way outside. Naylor due up next. You were talking about the reverse splits for Legumina. The Rays do have activity inside their bullpen nonetheless. Caminero over at third, short way to second. Side retired. The former Mariner Casey Legumina spins a scoreless 8th inning to the 9th. Brian Wu named to the top 50 all-time Mariners, a former 6th-round draft pick by the M's earlier this year, setting an all-time T-Mobile Park record for most consecutive scoreless innings spun. An all-star last year, finished 5th in the American League Cy Young vote. Ryan Wu in the top 50. He will begin the road trip for the Mariners against Ryan Weathers at Yankee Stadium. Bryce Miller, Game 2. Logan Gilbert in the finale. Wednesday's game will not be on Mariners TV. It will be seen exclusively on ESPN. And one of those guys is right over there. We believe it's Brian Wu. Yes, it is.
There he is.
Nick Davila is on the mound as Hicks is out.
Nick Davila's been up and down a couple times now from AAA. Having a nice year. First year in the big leagues. Trying to keep it 4-1. Get some offense going. 3 outs remaining for the Mariners. Trying to avoid a sweep.
Victor Mesa Jr. finds Julio's glove. 2 outs. Davila working quick. One to Mullins. Makes it 0-2. Over to Weston Wilson at third base, and Davila retires his side in order. Another active player in the top 50. Mariners starting pitcher George Kirby, former first-round draft pick out of Elon, an all-star when the game was played right here inside T-Mobile Park. Recorded the save in the clinching Game 2 of the 2022 American League Wild Card Series in Toronto.
And what I'm doing here is
Last try today for the Mariners. They trail 4-1 going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Brian Baker, who we would normally see in this 9th inning in a save situation, clearly down today. He has worked back-to-back games and in 3 of the last 5. So it is veteran starter turned reliever Steven Matz. And he hits Naylor. And Naylor is really feeling that, man. Holding his hand.
We see him shaking that wrist around a lot, but this time takes the ball. This is a changeup. Oh, and actually it's off the elbow, just above the elbow.
Got him twice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, off the hand.
Got him on the arm and on the hand.
Yeah, off those faint little fingers. They say he's good to stay in the game. No doubt those fingers are throbbing right now, but hey, get some traffic. Steven Matz, we talked about him losing that rotation spot. He was in the bullpen. He's had some big blow-up games. He looked good last night, though, through the 2 innings.
Leadoff man aboard in front of Cal Raleigh. Hit hard, but foul. And for as lopsided as this game has felt, the Mariners are now a bloop and a blast away from tying it up. Oh, and 2. Skied to left. Simpson waits for it, makes the catch, 1 away. Here's Weston Wilson. Wilson with a fly ball out towards center field. And there is out number 2. Cedric Mullins makes the catch. Well, the Mariners are 1 out away from being swept by the first place Tampa Bay Rays. And both these teams are playing in very opposite fashions coming into this series, but nonetheless, a sweep is certainly not what you were hoping for. Good take by Colt Emerson, down and away.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Looked like a good call at the time.
The call is confirmed. Tampa Bay has 1 challenge remaining.
And it was. Now the Mariners have scored all of 4 runs so far in this 3-game series. In fact, 4 runs dating back to the finale against the Tigers. 4 runs in their last 4 games combined. And they are in jeopardy of finishing, I should say, this homestand with 3 wins and 6 losses. On the ground, and it's booted by Wall. It was right at him, and a normally reliable defensive shortstop does not make what looked to be a gimme play.
That ball right at him. Colt Emerson didn't try and rush it, just straight like you said. Booted it, tried to come around a little bit, straight up the heel.
An error on Walls, and that cracks the door open. The Mariners now bring the tying run to the plate with 2 outs in the 9th inning. In the bullpen, Chris Roycroft, hard-throwing right-hander, starting to get loose.
We had a couple defensive miscues early in this game. Mariners could not capitalize. That little pop-up right in front of the mound. Ian Seymour bobbling the ball right in front of the mound again. Can you make this hurt right here and avoid the sweep, keeping this 9th inning going?
Well, Taylor Ward is what got the offense going before it fizzled in the 1st inning. It was a leadoff triple. He came in to score on the very next pitch, driven home by Cole Young. Tying run at the plate, 2 outs in the 9th inning. Takes on the corner for a strike. Does not go. Mariners have Naylor at second, Emerson at first. Now the Mariners down to their final strike. 2 outs, 2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both runners in motion. Slug, center field. Mullins sets up shy of the track. The Rays sweep the Mariners. And the USS Mariner is taking on some serious water. It is continuing to sink. A 3-6 homestand for the Ends. They get swept by Tampa Bay.
Oh, we will keep talking about when is this team, when is this offense going to start clicking, getting hot, put their foot on the gas pedal, however you want to word it. But man, time is running out as we're heading into the month of August, about to head to a really difficult road trip starting off in New York, but just nothing doing. You mentioned just the 4 runs this entire series against the #1 Tampa Bay Rays. Man, tough way to finish off the weekend, tough way to head out into the road.
Yeah, a weekend that otherwise was incredible. The Mariners celebrating the 50 greatest players in franchise history. We have shown you all the artwork coming back from break over the last 2 days. And here inside T-Mobile Park, the brand new mural unveiled celebrating the 50 greatest players in franchise history. Unfortunately, a weekend that ends in a sweep to the hands of the Tampa Bay Rays. Day off tomorrow, long road trip ahead. Mariners have to get it figured out and fast. Mariners post game on the other side.